So if I play the first 3 lines where I have not done much editing, let's see how that's sounding. So the first step, you're going to go to Google and you're going to search for the piece that you want and follow it with the word MuseScore. So we're going to open that up. So this is the arrangement we're going to work from. We can play it from MuseScore, which is great. So we can already just get an immediate preview. Okay. This is a very special thing because I can click download and then I can click MuseScore. This is going to give me the actual MuseScore file, which means I can open this piece up now. I can open it up in MuseScore and I've got full access, full control over all of those notes. Okay. Right. So this is for piano. So there are, a few things we have to keep in mind that to make this a quick arrangement. A couple of things you want to consider: the clefs, right? We don't want bass clef or any other different clefs. We want treble clef. So as soon as I see a bass clef, I'm going to change that. See this bass clef over here? I'm going to change that to a treble clef. So in the menu, we just go to clefs here. And we could just put a regular treble clef. Guitar actually uses this octave clef here. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to do that for, actually we should do that from the start. I'm going to do that from the start. And then I'm also going to do that from here. Okay, so we should have, if we just scan through, you can see that we have the octave treble clef now throughout the whole piece, no more bass clef. Next step is to think about the key. So this key does not look super friendly. Basically this piano arrangement has an introduction and then the main kind of melody comes in here. So I'm looking at this key, I'm thinking, that's 2 flats for guitar. I don't really like. That's G minor, right? And actually MuseScore helps you identify, if you don't know your key signatures, you can go to key signatures, you go to 2 flats and it'll tell you B flat or G minor. So, usually we avoid key signatures with a flat. So we're going to select everything. So I pressed Command A. We're going to go to Tools and Transpose. And now we can select, you can try different keys if you want, but I'm going to do the key of E minor because E minor fits the guitar really well. I can actually start to already play some of this on the guitar, like. Okay, I can already start to put some of that together, but it's going to get, this is still the beginning, right? Okay, now the really fun stuff starts to happen. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to click layout and we're going to add a new instrument. We're going to add a guitar, classical guitar in this case, and we're going to do something else later as well. We're going to add another part in later as well. Let's start with the top stave, and I'm going to click on selection filter. This is a very important tool. Selection filter, and then if you scroll down all, I'm going to uncheck all. So it's only selecting the notes. So I click on bar 1 and then I hold shift and I click on the last bar and then I copy and then I'm going to paste that into the guitar part. Now I'm looking at the range of that and it looks very high mostly, and some of this we're going to edit a lot, but it looks very high generally. So what I'm going to do is put it all down an octave. So it's still highlighted. I press Command down or Control down if you're on Windows. Command down, Control down. That shifts notes down an octave. If you press Control up or Command up, it shifts notes up an octave. So Command down or Control down. So now I've got, even that is much more playable. Okay, now I'm going to get the kind of like the left hand of the piano in. So now what we'll do is select the middle stave here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select the entire thing. So click on the first measure, select all. I'm going to change the voice now, so voice 4 to represent the bass, and then I'm going to select it again, select it all again. So we just do the same thing. We just go to the, you can go to the start again, select the first measure, and then what we want to do in the selection filter is we want to uncheck the remaining voices. So only voice 4 is checked. Okay. And now I'm going to select all of that, select that middle stave, copy, and then we're going to paste it into here. Now, once again, I can see that this is too close to the melody range at the moment. So I'm going to pop this all down an octave. So it's more in a lower register. So command down or control down. Most of our job is now complete. I can hide the piano, and what we get is a guitar part. Now, obviously you can see all the red notes. The red notes mean they're out of range, which is actually very, very helpful information. We can basically just ignore them. We can just delete them, or we can put them into range if we need to. If I have a go at this first measure, for example, as it's written, and I know that they're supposed to be tied, and I can, by checking that eye icon, that visible or hidden icon, I can use the piano as a reference. I can bring that back up and say, oh, what do I need to do here again? What does this bit sound like? Right, I can do the same with if I need to hide the guitar, just to hear, just to look at the piano part, what's going on. You can actually play them all together. Right, and so you can see that these are supposed to be tied. So we can figure that out. That's really a minor detail, but it's very playable. And then I can go, and then this bit here we have, that's supposed to be tied as well. So for now, I'll just delete those really. So we'll go to our selection filter. We want all our voices back. I'll just delete them like that. And so our intro is, our first 3 measures are already done, right? There's not really much we need to do there. I'll just get rid of some of the, like this pedal sign. I don't really want that at the moment. And then I'll hide the piano again. So click on layout, and you can click on that button there. Okay, so we'll go back to the guitar part. So it looks like the first 4 measures are very playable. So first 4 measures, great. Okay, now we get into some like more crazy stuff here. We've got 4 flats in the key signature, lots of red, notes that are coming up red. So the first step would be to delete those. We just get rid of those. And then we do have to figure out this, there's a bit more work involved now, but it's still relatively, like, I don't want these really high notes here. So I just get rid of the notes that are out of range. Another thing we can do now, I'm going to bring in another step here. Another step that we can do is put the guitar tablature in now, because this helps us to map out, with these notes, to say like, oh, is this playable? It will tell us very quickly, even without having to try and play it. It will tell us very quickly if it's playable or not. I'm going to do it this way though. I'm going to add a new instrument, and I'm going to go to classical guitar tablature. Now, okay, so the tablature will be at the bottom. And now what I'm going to do, make sure all our voices are selected, and they are. And I want to uncheck all, because I don't want all the other markings here. And I'm going to copy all of that. So I've just selected everything, and I'm going to paste it into the tablature. So now we have the tablature as well, which helps us to map things out. MuseScore tablature is very intelligent because, for example, if I want to play this G on the 2nd string, I can just drag it down like that. Done. So the tablature is very intelligent, and already it's showing us, this is making things much more. So I can see that this is written in a very complicated way, but I can see 3-3-0. And then 3 on the 4th string, 1 is a C, and then 2 G's together. For some reason, it's spelt it, I think because of the process and the the 4 flats and things. So what I'm going to do is I would just simplify that so that it's not spelt. There we go. Get rid of that rest. That. Okay, so that's much more simpler to read. That should be an F, E sharp should just be an F natural, B sharp should just be a C natural. So we just keep going through that. I'm not going to do like every aspect of the arrangement right now. I'm just showing you how quick it can be done. So we would just simplify these. F double sharp, we just, you know, if you want, I mean, you don't have to do this really. You can use the tablature as your reference if you prefer that. So with tablature, you basically want numbers to be in close range, close proximity to each other. That tends to make things more playable. So now, first of all, I can even play this on MuseScore. And then I can give it a go. So, and then 6, 9, 8, 6, 9, 8. I think that's right. So we got. Whoops. 6, 9, 8. That's it. That shape. Okay, so one more time. All right, and then the next one, I can read the tablature. Something like that, right? I can simplify that. Like maybe I can just get rid of that. I can just get rid of that note there, and yeah. So, and then we just continue. So the red notes, we can just get rid of those, right? And admittedly, this part of the introduction is quite difficult. Like there's lots of sharps, there's lots of flats here. It's very, very pianistic here. So, you know, but a lot of the job is done simply deleting these notes, these red notes here. A lot of the job's done, and I can do things up in this clef and then just copy and paste it again in that one into the tab. So if you make updates here, you can then copy and paste them here. So the introduction keeps going, and so I just keep on deleting these red notes here. Okay, we can play those notes. I'll delete those. I'll delete those, and then I'll copy that and paste it into the tablature. Okay, and so now we've got something pretty workable already. Okay, that's pretty high, and that chord looks crazy there. The tablature has simplified it though. Like, look how. That looks absolutely crazy. That looks wild. But the tablature is just saying 3, 5, 2. Interesting. So 5, 2, 1, and then 3, 5, 2. 3, 5, 2, something like that. So yeah. So you see, the tablature is giving us a lot of information about how to map things out. Anyway, I'm going to work through this really quick here. Let's, this looks pretty crazy as well. And we see that red thing's coming up there. So I'm going to do that. That's better. Okay. So I'll copy. You can also edit things here and then copy and paste that into the notation as well. So if you want to use the tablature as a way to craft your, you know, fingerings and voicings and things, and then paste that into the, notation, you can do that. All right, so we've got an intro now, which is great. If we move on to the melody here, this is where it gets much easier because we're in E minor. A lot of this looks very low now, so what I'll do is I'm going to copy and paste that up. Sorry, not copy, I'm going to select it, put it up an octave, and now we've pretty much got something that's very, very playable. So if I read the notation, I haven't done anything other than copy and paste. And then I'm seeing things like, all right, you know, this, obviously that's too low. I can do that as an open G. So we'll do that as an open G. like that. And we just got all open strings now. Oh yeah, because I've changed this up the octave. So I've got to do that for the tablature. All right, there we go. So, 5, 3. Okay, let's just have a comparison with the piano just for a moment. At that point, that's where the melody comes in here. So this is here. Okay, so far it's sounding quite good. So you can use that piano part as a reference to make sure your guitar part's sounding okay. You can also just hide the piano part and then play the guitar part. And that can sometimes give you a good idea if something's sounding okay. So I can play the guitar part. And you can, you've got flexibility. You can make it simpler if you want. You can revoice the chords in certain ways. It's all in your control. It's all in your hands now once it's in MuseScore. So I can play, if I go from here, and then we have this, I'd probably just delete that bass note now. So then delete that D. When you're going from piano to guitar, you're going to be deleting a lot, Okay, I delete that crazy, that note is there. And then I'll copy that, paste that in to the tablature. So then we have beautiful. There you go. And if I need to reposition, like I'm playing that in the 3rd position, so I can just drag that. I'm playing that C on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, so I just drag it down, and MuseScore knows to do that. So you can see how now we're really starting to get into a great rhythm here. A great flow. This bit is much easier than this section here. This would take a little bit more editing and cutting things out. We'll go on to the next line here. So I'm going to copy and paste that in. Pretty doable. That's a bit of a stretch. You see the 3 5s that are in the F, and then so I don't really like that. So you can just pop that F up. That's that thing again with the numbers, right? You want the numbers, generally you want the numbers to be as close as possible. Like 5 5 2. Not great. That 2 can go to a 7. It's a bit closer. So then okay, and then that's going to a 3. So I don't want that. So I'll drag it into an 8, and then this I could drag to an 8 as well. Or if we want to go back down, unless we want to shift down and prepare for the 1st position now for the lower numbers. So let me try that. So now we have. Beautiful. There you go. Right. And then again, you can get the piano part. What bar was that? 17. So we'll go to bar 17. Yeah, sounding good. No discrepancies, nothing that's kind of standing out. I do want to emphasize, I'm doing this very quickly. You can make other changes if you want. Like if you want to cut out a note, for example, you just want to strip the chords down a bit more, you can. So it's not super easy to play, but it's very playable. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch there. So we could do something like harmonics or something. I could do something like that. Copy and paste that in, and then we can say those are harmonics. So usually to signify harmonics, you go to properties, scroll down when those notes are selected, and you click on the diamond note heads like that. Okay, so for that, those 2 bars are working really well. I'll play them again. Okay, that's working great so far. So if I play the first 3 lines where I have not done much editing, let's see how that's sounding. And, you know, without all the talking and the speed that I know I'm able to work at, I could do this in minutes. I reckon 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour maximum. Give me an hour and I could make this, I could get this to a very, very reasonable, you know, reasonable to play guitar piece.